Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, another question I'm asked quite frequently is if God knows that He's going to create people and then they're going to go to hell, then why did God create them in the first place? So, why didn't He just not create them? Isn't that a bad thing to do for God? So, the first thing is that number one is our knowledge. And just before I even answer the question, so first thing we have to understand that as a human, our intellect and understanding is limited, and the understanding and intellect of God is unlimited, and His wisdom is also unlimited. So we can never truly understand the wisdom of God regardless of how much we tried, although we can get an idea, but truly to truly grasp the intellect of God is not in our capability. But anyway, so moving on. So why did God create? Just as an example so we can understand, because obviously nothing is similar to God. There's nothing in this world that resembles God. But God, so imagine God, He has all of these qualities in terms of being loving, being caring, being merciful, looking after, and so on and so on. And generally when a person has all these amazing qualities, wanting to love someone else, wanting to care for someone else, give for someone else, that's even a person. So if a person had these qualities, they wouldn't be content living by themselves in their own house, not interacting with any other humans. They would naturally want to go out and be caring to others. They naturally want to go out and help others, and so on and so on. So I won't say likewise, because obviously, like I said, nothing is similar to God. But God has all of these qualities. So He wanted to create a creation that He could love, He could care for, and He could look after, and so on. And He could forgive them and be merciful towards them, and so on. So this is what Allah created, or God created, the human race. Before that, the angels existed. Before humans, we understand through the Quran that the angels existed. And the difference between the humans and the angels, yes, of course, the angels are made out of light. Humans, we believe they're made out of light, and humans are obviously flesh. But the difference is that the angels, they did not have free will. So they could only do those things which God had commanded them to do. So because they didn't have free will, a true loving relationship did not exist between them and God. Because imagine if you forced someone to be in a relationship with you. That's not really true love. It's not a true relationship as such. So that's why God wanted to create a nation or a race that has free will, and they are free to choose to have a relationship with God, and they are free to choose to reject the relationship with God. So God gave us free will. Okay, so He created us to be caring to us, to have mercy on us, to be forgiving towards us. So God created us from His mercy, for His mercy. That's one line you have to remember. God created us from His mercy, for His mercy. Okay, so, and in order for a true relationship to take place, we need free will. So that's two things we need to remember. So God created us from His mercy, for His mercy, number one. Number two, for a true relationship to take place, He must give us free will, because if He's forcing us, then that's not a true relationship. Okay, so secondly, so now this is the reason why He created us, because He wanted to love us, and He wanted us to love Him in return. Now, third point. Now, for a true relationship to take place between man and God, there needs to be free will. And a byproduct of free will is that people are free to reject God's love. So people are free to reject God and to commit evil, to abandon His commandments, and so on and so on. So evil in this world, oppression, and people taking each other's rights, killing, and so on, this is a byproduct of us giving us free will. So this must exist for good to exist. It's like, for example, if I give you a knife. So now if you take this to cut fruits, because I want you to do good things with it. So you take this knife and you use it for evil. You're not going to blame me for giving you the knife. I gave you the knife, and the knife had a potential for good, and it had a potential for evil as well. So you can't blame me for giving you a knife. Likewise, Allah created humans, and Allah created within us the capacity to do good and the capacity for evil. So when evil happens, we can't blame God for doing that. It's like giving a person a knife. So this is why God created us, and this is why evil exists because it's a byproduct of having free will. Okay, and the other question that leads up to this is, okay, with the understanding that God is cruel, may Allah protect us from this understanding. Okay, then why did God create hell then? Why didn't he just create heaven and everyone go there? So God created us to be good in this world, to love him, to accept him, and to do good things in the world. God did not create us for evil. So now the first thing is, so there will be a group of people that will choose to accept God and live a life committed to him, doing good things for others and creating peace and harmony in the world. And there will equally be people that will reject God and commit evil in the world. They'll kill, they'll steal, they'll commit crime, and so on and so on. So now once we go back to God, if God treats both of us equally, then he will be an unjust person. It's like if my neighbor stole my property and we go to the judge and the judge says, you know what, I forgive both of you, then that judge won't be a fair person. So likewise, for God to be just, he should reward those people that do good, and he should punish those people that do bad. So that's why heaven must exist and hell must exist, for God to be someone that's just. So this is why God created us, and this is why heaven and hell must exist. Jazakumullah khairan.